Welcome to the channel. Did you know a normal-looking Washington quarter once sold for $90,000? Yes, just one small mistake made it super rare and crazy valuable. In this video, we'll show you how a simple 25-cent coin turned into a treasure. You might even have one like it without knowing. Don't miss this. What you find next time in your change could change your life. Imagine holding a tiny coin that looks so normal, you don't even give it a second thought. It's just a 1970 Denver quarter, a small silver-colored coin with a little D on it near George Washington's hair. You've seen millions like it, used every day, dropped in parking meters, found in couches, or given as change at the store. Most people think it's worth only 25 cents. But what if I told you this exact coin could be worth as much as $75,000? Yes, $75,000. But this is the story of how a simple coin hides secrets so strange and rare, they can turn it into treasure. Back in 1970, the Denver Mint worked hard to make hundreds of millions of quarters. The way a coin is made is interesting but very exact. A blank metal disc called a planchet is pressed between two metal stamps called dies. These dies have the design of the coin, Washington's face, the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date. When the planchet is pressed hard, it takes the shape and design from the die. This process happens very fast and makes thousands of coins every hour. But because the machines work so fast and the process is complex, sometimes mistakes happen. Imagine a machine running so fast it misses something or presses the wrong metal disc. When this happens, coins come out with errors. These errors can make the coins rare and very valuable to collectors. One of the most famous mistakes from the 1970 D quarter is called the Scarface, or thin quarter error. This happened because the die was not fully filled with metal before striking the coin. The die didn't press fully, so the coin looks thin and the details are weak, especially on Washington's face. His features look soft, blurry, and faded, almost like a scar on his face. That's why it's called Scarface. Imagine a photograph that has faded over time and lost some of its details. That's what the Scarface quarter looks like. The Scarface error is rare because only about 100,000 of these were made before the mint fixed the problem. Compared to the 417 million normal quarters made that year, 100,000 is a tiny number. This rarity is what makes Scarface quarter special. Collectors love finding these coins because they tell a story of how a small mistake can make a coin valuable. Surprisingly, Scarface quarters can be worth between $30 and $350, depending on how good the coin looks. So a coin that appears damaged or weak can actually be worth many times more than a normal quarter. This surprises a lot of people because usually, mistakes make things less valuable. But in the coin world, errors like these often increase the value. Now, here is a twist that might shock you even more. Some 1970 D quarters were made on the wrong metal discs, planchets that were meant for other coins. Imagine finding a quarter that was pressed on a disc for a Canadian quarter or even a dime. These discs are different sizes and weights, so these coins look and feel strange. One famous 1970 D quarter was struck on a Canadian quarter planchet. This coin weighs about 1 gram less than a normal US quarter because Canadian quarters are made differently. Experts studied this coin, gave it a high grade, and it sold for $35,000. Think about it, a coin most people think is worth 25 cents was sold for $35,000 just because it was made on the wrong metal disc. Even more surprising are the double-struck 1970 D quarters. These coins were accidentally struck twice by the minting machine. The result is a coin with a doubled or blurry image, like two Washington faces overlapping. These double-struck coins are rare and collectors love their strange look. One of these coins sold at auction for almost $2,000. A simple mistake made a coin worth thousands. But now comes the biggest mystery. Some people say there is a 1970 D quarter worth $75,000. That's a huge amount of money for a coin that usually is just 25 cents. But here's the twist, no official record or auction confirms a 1970 D quarter sold for that price. It might be a rumor, a private sale, or a story made bigger by excitement. So, where does this $75,000 number come from? The best guess is that this value belongs to a coin struck on a planchet meant for a very different and rare coin, like a $5 gold coin planchet. Gold coins are made of real gold, and their metal value is very high. For example, a 1970s quarter struck on an 1898 $5 gold coin planchet sold for more than $90,000 at auction. This is a real sale and proves how valuable these rare mistakes can be. So, while normal Scarface or double-struck quarters might be worth a few $1,000s, coins struck on gold or rare metal discs can be worth tens of thousands or more. That's likely where the $75,000 story comes from, an ultra-rare, almost impossible error. You might be wondering, how do these mistakes even happen? The US Mint makes millions of coins every day using huge machines that run very fast. Sometimes, metal discs get mixed up, or dies don't press correctly. The mint workers try very hard to catch errors before coins leave, but some sneak through. These error coins are like tiny stories caught in metal, moments where the machine made a mistake and the coin tells the tale. Here's a shocking fact: some of the rarest error coins were found by everyday people, not experts, not collectors, but kids or normal folks just using their change. Imagine finding a Scarface quarter or a wrong planchet quarter in your own piggy bank. That happened to a kid once, and when he took the coin to a shop, he learned it could be worth hundreds of dollars. That moment changed his life and how he saw coins forever. But be careful, not all error coins are real. Some people fake mistakes by scratching or polishing coins to trick buyers. Experts use special tools and knowledge to check if error coins are real or fake. If you find a strange coin, don't clean it or try to fix it yourself. Instead, get it checked by a coin expert who can tell if it's genuine. Here's another twist many don't know: cleaning a coin usually lowers its value, especially error coins. Collectors want coins to stay in the original condition they were found. So if you think you have a rare coin, keep it safe and never clean it. When the mint discovers a big mistake like the Scarface error, they work fast to fix it. They change the dies or fix the machines so the error stops happening. That's why these mistakes don't stay common for long. The few that got out are now rare and valuable. Collectors love errors because they are surprises in a normal world. Sometimes new errors are found years later, causing excitement and even higher value. Collecting error coins is like an endless treasure hunt where you never know what you might find next. If you want to look for a 1970D error quarter, here's how. First, check Washington's face. Does it look thin or soft? That might be the Scarface error. Second, weigh the coin. Is it lighter than normal? It could be on the wrong planchet. Third, look for doubled or blurry designs. That's a sign of double striking. If you find one, don't clean it. Show it to an expert who can grade it and tell you how much it's worth. That could be the start of a great adventure. Here's another secret: some collectors keep their rare coins hidden. They don't sell or show them to anyone. These coins become family treasures or legends. Years later, their stories come out and surprise the coin world. Maybe one day, you or someone you know will find a secret coin and become famous. The 1970D quarter isn't just a coin. It's a story about mistakes, chance, and hidden value. It teaches us that small things can hold big secrets. The $75,000 price is for extremely rare errors, but Scarface thin quarters, wrong planchet coins, and double-struck quarters can still be worth thousands. So next time you see a quarter, look closely. It might be a small coin, or it could be a key to hidden treasure. And here's the final twist: many collectors say the greatest treasure is the story behind the coin. The 1970D quarter shows us that even a tiny mistake can lead to a huge surprise. Maybe the next great coin story is waiting for you, right in your pocket. The second coin on our list is the 1979 No Mint Mark Washington quarter. To most people, this quarter looks very normal, just like any other quarter you might have in your pocket. But this coin can hide something special, something that makes it worth much more than 25 cents. In 1979, the US Mint made quarters without a mint mark in Philadelphia. That was the rule then, if there was no letter on the coin, it meant the coin came from Philadelphia. That year, the Philadelphia Mint made about 518.7 million quarters with no mint mark. That is a huge number. So most of these quarters are very common. Usually, these 1979 no mint mark quarters are worth just 25 cents. Even if you find one in perfect condition, new, shiny, and never used, it might only be worth a few dollars. So, most people don't pay much attention to them. But there's a catch. Some of these quarters have rare errors, tiny mistakes made when the coins were made. These errors make those quarters much more valuable. For coin collectors, these mistakes are like little puzzles or hidden treasures. One of the rarest errors for the 1979 no mint mark quarter is called the double die obverse, or DDO. The obverse is just a fancy word for the front side of the coin, where George Washington's face is. Double die means the design was stamped twice by mistake, but not in the same place, so some parts of the design look doubled or blurry. Here's how that happened. The coin is made by pressing a metal stamp, called a die, onto a blank metal disc called a planchet. Sometimes, the die itself was stamped twice, with a small shift between the two images. This makes the letters and numbers on the coin look like they have a shadow or double lines. The interesting thing is, only 2 to 4 genuine 1979 no mint mark quarters with this double die error are known to exist. That makes these coins super rare. Because of this, when one of these rare coins was sold at auction in 2021, it fetched around $12,000. That coin was in very good condition, called MS-64. If a coin is in even better condition, MS-66 or higher, it might be worth even more, possibly close to $10,000 or more. But this isn't the only interesting error from 1979. There are other kinds of mistakes collectors look for. One of these is called the repunched mint mark, or RPM. This error happens when the mint mark, the letter that shows where the coin was made, is stamped more than once, or stamped on top of a different letter. For example, D might be stamped twice, making it look like there are shadows or doubles on the letter. Since the 1979 no mint mark quarters don't have any letter, this error shows up on quarters from Denver or San Francisco that year. Depending on the error's clarity and condition, RPM coins can be worth anywhere from $50 to $500. Another error collectors watch for is the broad strike or double rim error. Normally, quarters have tiny ridges around the edge, called reeds. Sometimes, the coin's metal slips or spreads when it's being stamped, causing these ridges to be missing or the coin to be wider than usual. Depending on how bad the error is, these coins can be worth between $20 and $1,000. There are also rare cases where the mint mark looks like it was stamped 3 times or looks filled in. These are called filled or triple D mint mark errors. They can be worth over $150. So why do people talk about a $10,000 value for this coin? The most likely reason is the double die obverse quarters in near perfect condition. Since only a few of these exist and collectors really want them, these coins can sell privately for around $10,000 or more. Now, here's the twist. Many of these rare coins weren't found by professional collectors or experts. They were discovered by regular people, kids, parents, or someone just going through their old change. Imagine finding one of these rare double die quarters in your pocket or drawer, and later finding out it's worth thousands of dollars. That has happened several times, and it changes how people see coins. But you have to be careful. Some people try to fake these errors by scratching or altering coins to make them look rare. That's why if you think you have a special coin, you should not clean it or fix it yourself. Instead, take it to a coin expert who can check if the coin is real or fake. The US Mint works very fast to stop big errors. Once they find out about mistakes like the double die, they replace the dies or fix the machines to stop more errors. This makes error coins very rare and valuable because only a few slip through. Collectors love these coins not just because of their value but because each error tells a story about how the coin was made. These little mistakes are like tiny mysteries frozen in metal. If you want to check if your 1979 quarter might be rare, here's what to look for. First, check Washington's face and the date to see if the numbers or letters look doubled or blurry. Second, look at the edges to see if the ridges are missing or wider than usual. Third, check if the coin has strange or doubled mint marks. If you find any of these signs, don't clean the coin. Instead, take it to a coin expert for grading and evaluation. That could be the start of a very exciting adventure. Here's another surprise: some collectors keep their rare coins hidden for years. They never sell or show them. These coins become family treasures or legends. Many years later, these hidden coins come out and shock the coin world. Maybe one day, you or someone you know will be the one to find a secret rare coin. The 1979 no mint mark quarter is more than just a small piece of metal. It is a story about chance, about small mistakes, and about hidden value. The $10,000 price is for very special rare errors, not for just any coin from 1979. So next time you get a quarter in your change, take a closer look. You might have a simple coin, or you might have a key to a hidden treasure. The true value is not in the face value, but in the story behind the coin, a story about a tiny mistake that made it rare and valuable.